Welcome to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York. I'm Carlos Peña, joined by Lindsay, Berra, and Curator John Odell, and we're going to talk about the Hall of Fame Connections episode, From a Silver Crown to a Triple Crown. This might be my favorite because we're talking about power, right? Home runs.
We're talking about power. We're talking about bling. We're talking about this is the stuff that puts people in the seats, right? You know, this is just a lot of fun stuff.
I'm all about placata.
Oh, yeah. I'm
all about that.
That's what Hank Aaron said when he hit his home run, 100%.
At least that's how it sounded like, to me.
Hank Aaron flipped the bat, pointed to the outside, and said, "Placata."
That's exactly the way it happened. And as I look, I'm like, wait a second. You know, Babe Ruth, I know it's Babe Ruth, all right? Yeah. But he got a crown by the fans, given to him by the fans when he set another record, right?
That's right. Yeah, well, he said his
59.
The 59 home run record in 1921. And you know what? The funny thing, this is great. The fans gave money to have this crown made so that it could be given to Babe Ruth on their behalf. And you know how, this is the best part. If you contributed $6 to this crown, you got a signed ball by Babe Ruth.
It was like the first Kickstarter or GoFundMe.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
And so then it goes to Babe Ruth, and and he actually we have video of wearing this crown.
I've seen that.
What kind of crown did you get when you when you were home run king?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, because I was like, what do I get for leading the league in home runs? I thought, how come the fans didn't, put something together for me, some sort of crown?
They gave you a nice round of applause.
It's like, good job, Carlos. And that was it. But certainly one of my biggest, the things that I'm most proud of is being home run king. That's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, that's terrific. So there's another home run king that we talk about in the episode, and I got to tell you about him. This is his bat. This is Willie Mays' bat from 1969 when he got his. Let's pull out the gloves when he got his 600th home run. So, Willie Mays just obviously an amazing, amazing ball player for his entire career. Now, your grandfather, he was American League, so he wouldn't have been playing against Willie Mays.
Did they know each other? Against Willie,
what was their relationship?
They definitely knew each other, and they were together with the Mets for quite a while. They had a lot of fun there because their birthdays were 2 days apart, and they used to share a birthday cake every year.
That's great. So
awesome.
So we got to do a little show and tell. So here you go. This is Willie Mays.
So this is Willie Mays 600.
600.
So he was 38 years old when he hit his 600th home run. So that's a nice long
38
career.
years old?
Yeah.
So Lindsay, as you're holding this, do you notice the thick handle?
This one, I actually, compared to some of the older bats I've held, this one actually is starting to feel like it has the tapered handle where the barrel is starting to feel much heavier, like a separate part of the bat, as opposed to like just that one big piece of ash that we were talking about.
Yeah, I can kind of see that, and you're absolutely right. I mean, you get that hammer action where, maybe you flick your hands and you drop the barrel on the baseball.
Right.
I mean, I certainly wish that I could maybe have held these bats before I played, because I do feel that there's power on these artifacts, and maybe I would have gotten into 300 home runs in my career.
That would have been awesome, huh?
Yeah, like right now I feel like I can go over there and go placata right now on the field just because I held, this bat, Willie Mays, 600 home run.
I also kind of wonder if we held, this is obviously very late in his career, if we held his bat from 1953, would it have a fatter handle? Did this evolve over the course of his career?
Yeah, I'd be curious. So I would bet yes.
I would bet yes too, but
I'm not giving it back to you. You need it back?
To get back.
Okay, you can continue talking.
And you're just going to hold on to it.
Yeah. He'll trade you when the next one comes.
I'll bet. So I got to tell you, you just mentioned hammer, and so like if I had a hammer, this is Hank Aaron's third base as he's rounding after having broken Babe Ruth's record.
This is very cool because that is such an iconic video image in my head, like of him rounding, and they run with him kind of to home plate. So that's really cool.
Yeah, people coming out of the stands. Yeah. So you remember there's this couple of fans who just like
terrible security there.
I know, attacking right about where shortstop is. It's like, oh my gosh, and he's talked about that. He said he did not know, like, who these people were, and remember he was undergoing a lot of stress, a lot of
Yeah.
strain,
Yes.
a lot of hate mail,
Yeah.
and he was not at all sure what was going on.
And that all the emotions, if I recall correctly, his mother was at home plate and he was crying. That's in the images. That such an emotional moment for him.
You know, I look at the video, you know, you're talking about it being so iconic, and it's so true, and it is so cool. Like, it's hard for me to express how amazing it is to be in this place. Like, I'm looking at that base right there, and all I could think of is that video, and you're like, okay, that was an amazing moment in history of baseball and the history of America. And then you're like, wait a second, this makes it real. Like, okay, you're looking at the video, but this is the actual base,
It's cool.
which is absolutely insane, you know?
And something that's kind of interesting, now we get bases at the Baseball Hall of Fame on occasion when it's the right moment. But if you look at this base, you know, you could see this is not being changed out every 3 innings. Like now, you know, that base is...
It's dirty.
It's dirty. It was the beginning of the season. It's already dirty. It's like, you know, this is a used base.
Yeah.
The most important thing is that Hank hit it
Yeah.
all the way around to...
So cool, so cool. Again, we're talking home runs, so this is very dear to my heart, okay?
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely. So there's another connection. Of course, we always think about Willie and Hank together. You know, it's like there's this connection that just can't be broken between them. One of those parts of that connection is that Willie Mays in 1955, after the 55 series and season, put together a black barnstorming team that went around playing Negro League teams around the country. Now this isn't the Negro National League of Josh Gibson and Satchel Paige. This is 1955. Already the black leagues are more minor leagues at this point. It's where young fellas are coming out. It's where Hank Aaron came out of the Indianapolis Clowns, and Willie Mays tagged Hank to come along with him on this barnstorming tour through the South and through the West, playing all of these teams. Of course, they went undefeated, but just, you know, a great opportunity to bring baseball to a lot of cities that didn't have it, like Atlanta, Georgia, for instance.
And amazing for Hank Aaron, probably too, that young, getting to play with Roy Campanella, Ernie Banks. Like, he must have been completely starstruck.
You know
Holy
about
moly,
this.
right?
Last crown, the Triple Crown.
Oof.
So this is the Triple Crown, and so what are the parts of the Triple Crown?
You got your batting average, RBI, and the home runs.
And you know, of course, the RBIs you can't do a lot about. It's like whether guys are on base in front of you or not. You know, you can hit a whole lot of home runs, and if the rest of the team's not hitting, that's how many RBIs you got.
Right.
And of course, the batting average and the home runs almost work opposite each other. You know.
Yeah, well, that's the way it's been historically.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of guys now kind of pair them up together where they hit for power and average, which is an amazing
But it's just
This is historically such a difficult thing to do,
Oh.
though. And you think about it, when you led the league in home runs, where were your RBIs and your batting average?
Look, hitting a baseball is indeed the hardest thing to do in all sports. And to be able to be leading in RBIs, okay. Home runs, all right. And batting average, come on, you kidding me? You got to be almost superhuman to be able to accomplish that.
Yeah. So Frank Robinson was the first ball player since Mickey Mantle to hit for the Triple Crown, and it turned out, so he had just been signed by Baltimore. 1966, comes in, MVP, Triple Crown, leads the Orioles to the World Series, and there's no crown, there's no prize for winning the Triple Crown. MLB hasn't created a something to hand to you for that, and so the National Brewing Company, which owned the Baltimore Orioles, the major shareholders, said, we got to give Frank something. And so they had this trophy design, and you see there's 3 crowns.
Yes, I see that.
Interleaved within each other on the top, and they actually used artwork of Frank Robinson in the engravings around this. I can't pick this up, but
This
the
is a
engravings
lid.
around.
Does this open?
This opens up. So that's a lid, but we don't pick it up by the lid. We pick it up very closely by the edges. You know.
So it's like a
It's
like a bowl.
It's like a bowl. It's like a silver bowl with the lid.
It's like a Tupperware.
You can cook there, like
You put a
Soup
chafing.
and
It's
stuff?
like a chafing dish. No,
It's a crock pot.
I don't think it was used.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
you used
so.
it that way.
So beautiful silver. And this is a fun thing for the Baseball Hall of Fame. It was given to Frank in 1967. So he did this on 1966. The 1967 Baseball Hall of Fame game, which you were a part of. Right?
Yes,
You were,
yes.
not that
Well,
one.
not the
but,
67 one.
No, that's exactly right. But I did play on the 2005 Hall of Fame game, which I was the
MVP.
Thank you. I was trying to be
told
humble.
that earlier.
Yeah.
I pointed that out.
And so they gave Frank his award here in Cooperstown at that game. So that was kind of
really
the
cool.
thing. So then Miguel Cabrera, the most recent winner of the Triple Crown, was given the Triple Crown finally by Frank Robinson. He was there and presented the Triple Crown to Miguel to complete this connection from Babe Ruth's crown to the Triple Crown.
If you want to learn more about the people, places, and artifacts in this episode, go to baseballhall.org, where you can plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and discover your own connections to the game. Thanks for watching. For more incredible stories, check out our Hall of Fame Connection series. And don't forget to subscribe. Placata!